If you grew up watching The Crocodile Hunter, then you probably feel like you already know Bindi Irwin. She's been on camera since she was a toddler, smiling, fearless, surrounded by wildlife. But behind that sunshine image, something much darker was happening. And when she finally spoke about it, it shook people everywhere. So what was really going on behind that smile? Let's rewind for a second. Bindi Sue Irwin was born on July 24, 1998, in Queensland, Australia. She's the daughter of Steve Irwin, the legendary crocodile hunter, and Terry Irwin, a powerhouse in wildlife conservation. Even her name has a story, named after her dad's favorite crocodile and his beloved dog. That alone tells you the kind of life she was born into. She didn't grow up in a normal home. She grew up inside Australia's zoo, surrounded by animals most people only see on TV. Crocodiles, koalas, snakes, you name it. She was homeschooled so she could balance life between education and filming. And yes, she was basically on camera before she could even walk properly. At just 8 years old, she launched her own show, Bindi the Jungle Girl. It became a hit. And at 9, she won a Daytime Emmy. 9. Let that sink in. Then in 2015, she competed on Dancing with the Stars and won that too. It seemed like everything she touched turned to gold. So from the outside, her life looked perfect. But was it really? Because while all of that success was happening, something else was quietly taking over her life. For more than 10 years, Bindi was living with constant, severe pain. Not the kind you brush off. The kind that follows you everywhere. The kind that makes even getting out of bed feel impossible. And here's the worst part. No one could tell her why. She went through every test imaginable. Doctors checked for diseases, infections, even cancer. Everything came back normal.
No answers.
Just more confusion. And slowly, people started dismissing her, telling her it was just part of being a woman. Can you imagine hearing that for years? She started to believe it. She thought maybe she was weak. Maybe this was normal. She kept pushing through, showing up for work, for her family, for the cameras, smiling while her body was breaking down. But how long can someone keep that up? For a full decade, she lived like this.
No diagnosis. No explanation.
Just pain that never stopped. And then, finally, everything changed. In March 2023, she revealed the truth. She had been diagnosed with endometriosis, a condition where tissue grows outside the uterus, causing intense pain and complications. It affects millions of women worldwide, yet so many go undiagnosed for years. Sound familiar? Because that's exactly what happened to her. When she finally had surgery, doctors found 34 lesions inside her body. 34. That's not small. That's years of damage. And it explained everything she had been feeling. But even then, the story wasn't over. Because just when things seemed to be improving, something unexpected happened. She needed emergency surgery. And during that procedure, doctors found even more problems. More lesions. Her appendix had to be removed. She needed a hernia repair too. One surgery. Multiple serious issues. How was she even still standing? And then came the update that stunned everyone. Over time, more than 50 endometriosis lesions had been removed from her body. 50. Plus a cyst so severe it had attached her ovary to her body wall. And she had been living her life like that. Working. Filming. Being a mother. Smiling in front of cameras. Without knowing. Let that sink in for a second. But here's where her story takes a different turn. Because she didn't just stop at getting treatment. She decided to speak out. Loudly. Publicly. Honestly. She began sharing her journey to help others who were going through the same thing. Women who had been dismissed. Ignored. Told their pain wasn't real. She became a voice for them. And her message was simple, but powerful. I believe you. Why do those words matter so much? Because for so many people, No one has ever said them before. Her openness sparked a huge response. Thousands of women came forward, sharing their own stories, saying they finally felt seen, finally understood. And suddenly, this wasn't just her story anymore. It was everyone's story. Even her family joined the conversation, pushing for better awareness and better care. Because this isn't just a personal issue, it's a global one. So where does that leave her now? After years of pain, surgeries, and uncertainty, she says she's finally healing. And that word means everything when you know what she went through. But the real transformation isn't just physical. It's who she became through all of this. She went from someone silently suffering to someone leading a movement. From feeling unheard to making sure others are heard. And that kind of transformation? You can't measure it. Because this isn't just about one person anymore. It's about millions of people still waiting for answers. Still being told to just deal with it. So the real question is, how many others are still going through this right now, unnoticed?